can you not breathe into the microphone like you're a fucking maniac?
Don't yell at me.
Should that be the start of the podcast?
Oh my God.
You being like... I think...
like hear myself doing it until you yelled at me.
That's going in. That's how it's starting.
That's terrible.
Welcome, boys and girls, to the very first episode
Oh,
of...
I'm the creep.
to the very first episode of I'm a Goldfish. I'm Jerome.
I'm Taylor.
Did you forget your name?
No, you sound like a creep.
Hey, baby.
I didn't like that.
All right, so since this is the first episode of this podcast, we should probably say a little bit of what this podcast is going to be, don't you think?
Yes.
Are you gonna wait 10 seconds to answer everything I ask you?
There's a delay.
All right. Well, so this podcast, or usually at the beginning of this podcast, unless something else comes up or we change it and we don't like it, it's gonna be about news and just random nerdy shit or just YouTube news or random stuff like that. And then after that, it'll be movies that we've seen in theaters or new stuff like that we've seen. Like today, it's gonna be about Ghostbusters, which we wanted to do a couple days ago, but Amazon was really against us doing this podcast. They're like, hey, no, this isn't going to happen. We're not going to send you your audio equipment. You guys are assholes. That's what they said in their email, at least. But yeah, so today the movie part will be about Ghostbusters, and then we're also going to talk about Stranger Things on Netflix, which is a new Netflix series starring Winona Ryder, which is a very, very good show, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't have a name for it, but the end of every podcast is going to be an update of stuff that we've started on our own, like comic books that we've read or normal books or TV shows that we just started watching just out of the blue, random stuff like that, but just entertainment stuff that we've just randomly started, and we'll tell each other about it and stuff like that. Today, Taylor's gonna talk to us all about Nerve, which is a little bit.
I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, without spoilers.
No, you can spoil it. Maybe we should do a.
It's not that. I don't think it's gonna be that much alike. So
we could do a spoiler-free part at first, maybe, but we'll get into that later when we start that part. But yeah, so that's kind of a rundown of what every podcast will be about. Not exactly the same topics, but around that, So to start off the news today, this happened a couple days ago. Actually, maybe yesterday. So one day ago. Star Wars is a movie. Have you heard of it?
No.
Well, it's a sci-fi movie in space.
About stars fighting?
Yeah, stars have lots of wars in it. There's a character named Han Solo. Have you heard of him?
Yes. Okay.
That's odd. You've heard of the character, but you haven't heard of the movie?
He's a baker guy, right?
The bigger guy?
Baker.
Baker?
He bakes?
No, he doesn't bake anything.
No. I get you.
But spoilers, Han Solo died in the last Star Wars movie that came out.
Yeah, I knew that.
So you haven't... Okay, yeah. But they cast a young Han Solo because they're doing a solo Han Solo movie now because they're doing all these solo Star Wars movies. And Alden... Oh, God, I'm going to say this totally wrong. Alden Ehrenreich. Is that how you say his name? Ehrenreich?
I have no idea.
What movie was he in that you saw? Beautiful Beasts?
Creatures.
that was
Beautiful
close.
Creatures.
Beautiful Beasts. That's the sequel to Beauty and the Beast. But they cast him as a young Han Solo, which I think he looks pretty good. I haven't seen him in anything. You said you liked him in Beautiful Creatures, though?
Yeah, he was great. He was probably the best part.
So because that, are you going to go see this solo Han Solo movie now?
No, I'm not. But I will say Beautiful Creatures is up there in movies to me.
Up there? Up where?
High on my list.
And where's your list?
In my mind.
What's at the bottom of your list for good movies?
Poultrygeist?
Yeah, that should be at the bottom of every single person in the world's list. That is a terrible, terrible movie. I recommend you go on Netflix and watch it.
Yeah.
Actually, no, don't do that. Don't. If you wanna have a good day, don't go on Netflix and watch that.
It literally pissed me off.
Literally. I think you know what I think we should do one day, because you haven't seen a full Star Wars movie, have you? You haven't seen
No.
You're kind of like people from Teen Wolf. They just don't watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then one day Peter's gonna bite you in the forest, and then Derek is gonna turn into Superman and start
ditching
following you around and lying. And no one's going to believe him, and then he's going to yag.
Oh, my God. That's, the most confusing thing.
Everybody listening is like, I don't understand that joke. That's an inside joke between us and Teen Wolf. Maybe we can tell that story another day. You know what's the most awkward? We can kind of tell that story now a little bit. You know what's the most awkward thing in the world that I've learned?
What?
So we were telling the Yag story, which you tell the Yag story, and then I'll get into what's awkward about it.
Okay, well, we were talking, and there's the guy, Derek, on Teen Wolf, right? And everybody thinks he's a giant liar, but he never lies.
Yeah,
so we were
so
talking
we were
about
watching it, and I was like, it's so weird. Everyone's like, oh, can we trust Derek? Like, oh my god, can we? And I was like, you know, out of everybody in the show, he's the most straightforward. You said he's the most straightforward person, which is funny. I always tell you to start the story, and I always steal it.
It's all good.
But so he was like, he's the most straightforward person, and you're breathing in the mic again. God, you're like an animal over there. But Taylor said he's the most straightforward person. And I was like, yeah, everybody else is so gay backwards. And what was your response?
My response was, Yag?
And so we were just sitting there looking at each other for
So
like a minute.
confused.
Like, I was like, what is she talking about? Yag? Like, what kind of fucking reply is that? And then it clicked into our heads.
Did you think it
Like,
was like speaking slang to
I
you?
didn't. You're weird sometimes. You call me plica-plaka. Like, you say the stupidest shit. So then all of a sudden, I was like, we're sitting there for a minute, and she goes, and we both realized she said yag because that's gay backwards, and she realized I was, because the opposite is straightforward, it's gay backwards. So we realized at the same time.
We're both going through the whole conversation.
Yeah. So like we were laughing about that for a long time.
We started crying.
And so then, we were in the pool with Willow and Mima. That's our cousin and our grandma. you might need to know that. And we told them the story, and it's so awkward when you tell someone a story, and they're like this is after you tell your whole story, like we just told you, this is their exact response.
I wish I could input a cricket.
They're just staring at us, and I was like,
I know, they didn't
like,
think
yeah,
it was
no,
funny at all.
you had to be there. And you're just gonna walk away. You're like, whatever. Which in our case, we swam away because we were in the pool.
I told other people that story too, and they laughed. And
Which
then I told
also,
them, and they.
I guess Teen Wolf kind of makes us crazy a little bit now that I'm thinking about it. Teen Wolf is the reason this is called the I'm a Goldfish podcast, because I'm pretty sure it was Derek. So he was like hurt or something, and somebody asked him like, "Are you okay?" In my out of the blue, I talk to the TV, which I do this sometimes, but I go, "I'm more than okay. I'm a goldfish." Can I just imagine him saying that?
Which is not normal.
Which we told that to them in the pool, and this was their reply too. Yeah, so people don't like our stories.
No, I don't. I think.
But like, I don't know. I thought that was so funny, and I thought it was such a unique name for a podcast. That I'm a Goldfish podcast. You're like, what does that even mean?
That joke went on a little too long. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
repeated
I
it for a
think
while.
it was like 5 minutes. We made up a whole like short video, which we didn't actually film. We just talked about it. We do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But we just talked about it for like 5 minutes, making up some story for Derek the Goldfish. It's so weird. But all right, so what I was saying, I was going to something, and then I came on to the story. Is I think what we should do for our podcast one time is we should sit you down and you should watch the first Star Wars. And by first, I mean the fourth.
Oh, yeah.
And then we should do that as the movie. Like, we should time it to where it'll be like we're going to do our podcast, because we think we're going to do this like every other week. Maybe we'll like it and we'll do it more, but I don't know. We'll see. But we should time it so you watch that, and then that'll be the movie we talk about, and see if you like Star Wars. Just watch one. You burped into the mic. We all heard that. That was so unladylike. But don't you think that'd be a cool thing?
Maybe? I mean, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. Star Wars, like, it doesn't seem like that bad to me. It just doesn't really seem that interesting either. Like, I've seen so many
Taylor,
bits.
there is a character named Darth Vader. Taylor, there is a character named Chewbacca.
Like, I don't know. Maybe, like, I could get into it. I don't know. I just have to try it.
Yeah.
But, like, I could live my life without it right now, and I'd be fine.
Well, obviously, because you've done that your whole life.
Yeah.
So, clearly, you can live your life
Well,
without
maybe-
Star Wars.
Maybe.
I mean, you like Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is like Marvel Star Wars. Without lightsabers.
Yes, but it also has Chris...
Tucker! No, Pratt. And Bradley Cooper.
I always want to say Pine.
And Vin Diesel. And that wrestler guy that's not a wrestler anymore.
I don't know.
Drax is the character he
Yeah,
plays.
I know who.
All right, so but let's move on. There is some Doctor Who news. This is also some late news that I wanted to talk about a couple days ago, but we couldn't do our podcast then. So it is rumored, and I hope this goes from rumor to fact, that Matt Smith could be the next Doctor, and he'll be the first Doctor to go from being the Doctor to regeneration to somebody else to regenerate back to himself. How do you feel about that?
Well, I love Matt Smith, so I'd be fine with it. I really believe it's just gonna stay a rumor. You know, I don't think that's real. Personally.
Are you trying to break my heart?
I'm not, but I just don't believe that they're actually gonna be able to go through with that.
I don't. The only reason I think it could possibly happen is because Matt Smith really wants to be on the show, and I forgot, Stephen Moffat really wants him to be on the show.
Yeah, I mean, he was a great doctor.
Yeah, he was. Although, you know what I saw today? There was an interview with John Barrowman. You know who that is, right?
No.
Captain Jack.
Yes.
There's an interview with him, and he said that David Tennant is the best Doctor ever.
Ooh.
But that gets me into thinking. There's a rumor, another rumor. This is rumor roundup, everybody. Oh, we should call it. We should do a segment. Whatever.
Wow.
Moving on. But there's a rumor that the season or the episode of that will be like, the Doctor's confused. Like at the end of the season, he'll be a brand new person. But throughout the season, he'll be like, oh, one time I'm Matt Smith, one time I'm Peter Capaldi, one time I'm David Tennant, one time I'm the War Doctor, stuff like that throughout the episode, which could be very interesting. The only one I'd be a little worried about is the War Doctor, because I don't know if he could do a whole episode by himself.
Same.
I know there's an audiobook of the War Doctor, and I haven't listened to it, and I don't know if I want to.
Wow.
Don't
Fake
fucking
fan.
wow me again, Taylor. I'll kill you. But there's also another rumor that it'll be the same. It'll be that same exact like idea, except it'll only be Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, which seems a lot more doable to me. Which I think that'd be a cool idea. It'd be different. It'd be a completely different season compared to all the other ones.
Which isn't a
And
bad
like
idea.
it also said that like while they're doing that they'll be on that spin-off show Class, going back and forth like some episodes of them. So it'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
And then like at the end of the season, there'll be a brand new person. Which it'd be really cool if they did this. Like, say at the end of the season, either the Doctor becomes a girl, is finally ginger, or is it a black Doctor? And by black, I mean African American. Because like those would be like the three. Like he's always wanted to be ginger, and he's never been a girl. He's never been black. So like it would make sense that if he was one of those three, that's why he's getting confused, because like it's like completely different for him, and then that's why he's doing all that. I made that up in my head, but I think that'd be a cool way to end it. Like going through all that, like it's a completely different season, and then it ends. Boom, he's a girl or something. Like that might be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's all rumors right now.
I don't know. I don't really care. Like, you know.
I don't either. Like
it'd be cool to have those. I mean, like, I don't really care if he ends up being black eventually or a girl. Like, it's all really the same.
I don't, because like at first, like I realized this because I remember me and you were pretty worried about Peter Capaldi being the Doctor, which now I feel stupid about because I really like him. But like we were both like, I don't know, he just seems like so like we sound like retards saying this. Like, oh, he looks so old, and like I don't know, it just seemed weird. But that's because we're used to all the young ones. But like, it's not really that. Like they put some extra effort into it, but it's mostly like the writing.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, that's the one thing I'm worried about is the new person coming on running the show, because I really like Stephen Moffat, like how he's changed Doctor Who. I'm worried about what the other person would do, but the other person might change it and make it so different that it'll be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting. But I think that's all I got for Doctor Who news. We're moving on to, let's see, we got some CW news. I'm just counting this in all the CW shows because I took a couple screenshots of some articles for some CW shows.
Oh, we heard that too. Not very ladylike.
Well, I'm not a lady, so.
Debatable.
So first up in the news is it is another rumor. This time CW rumor. God, I'm very gassy. I'm drinking Rockstar. So Batwoman, Oracle, and Constantine is rumored to appear on all 4 CW DC TV shows.
Oh, all 4?
Yeah. So they could appear on all 4.
Wait, so Oracle, Constantine, and who?
And Batwoman. Which I didn't know this before. I knew Batgirl was Barbara Gordon. And yes, I heard you breathe into the mic, and I saw you move it away again. But so like forgot her name. I'm not gonna even try to attempt saying the Batwoman's name because I can't remember it. But so that'd be cool having those 3 people on there because like that's just one step closer to getting Batman and stuff on there.
Yeah.
And I really like Constantine. And plus, the more people that they can get on the Supergirl to let her interact with other superheroes, I feel like the better it'll be.
Yeah.
Because the best scenes with her is when she's with Constantine. Not Constantine. When
I was
she's
like,
with Martian Manhunter, or she was with Flash, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those were the best moments of Supergirl.
Mhm.
So like I feel like just adding more people onto that will make it even better, and it'll be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it'd be cool too with Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
I keep wanting to say girl, but
Me too.
like if we actually got like a strong female like superhero, you know, 'cause
Mm.
like I don't
Because,
know,
like, the-
Supergirl didn't really cut it for me.
Yeah, like the closest we really got to some of that was Black Canary or White Canary on Legends of Tomorrow
Yeah, which
and
they're
Arrow.
Great.
They were cool. The Katie Cassidy. I almost said lots, but that's weird.
Oh.
You know what's weird? In the show, they're sisters, and in real life, they have the same first name, except one's with a C, one's with a K.
Oh, really?
I didn't even
I
think
didn't
about
know
that till now. But Katie Cassidy she was okay on Arrow. Like, she could have been a lot.
What'd she play?
She was the Black Canary.
Oh, like the first one?
No, she was the second, because Katie Lotz was the Black Canary, and then she died, so then Katie Cassidy became Black Canary, but then
Oh.
Katie Lotz came back from the dead, and they're like, oh, well, now she's the White Canary.
Oh, okay. I think I get you. Who it is?
Yeah. Because then she came back on Flash, and she was Black Siren on Flash,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
she was
I get-
really cool as that. I liked her as that character, so I hope they bring that back in season 2 of Flash, because that was really cool.
That was cool.
That was one of my favorite episodes, was that one with her. But yeah, so it'd be cool to get more, the more superheroes that they throw into these shows,
Mhm.
just cooler it'll be.
And Constantine has cool vibes,
Yeah.
so that'll be.
I
cool to
really
see.
like that they're starting this thing where they're like, because like Captain Cold has a 4-show contract,
Yeah.
and then now John Barrowman does, and so now if they do this Batwoman, Oracle, and Constantine, like they can all be on any show.
Mhm.
That'd be really cool. Even if they're on like say 2 episodes of each show every season,
Yeah.
that's still really cool. Cause that's like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
that'd
that
be
is
really
cool.
cool. Especially because like when they do the crossovers, they can have everybody team up. We have basically like a Justice League
Mhm.
on there.
It's good for us too, 'cause we like the people.
Yeah,
like,
that's
can
true.
you imagine if you didn't like the person?
we
and they
really
were gonna-
we really liked Constantine when it was on TV. Like there were some episodes where like, that one wasn't as good,
Yeah.
and it was really confusing the way because they put the episodes up out of order.
Yeah, so that got a little.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
hard to get attached to someone when you don't even know what's really going on.
yeah, which I can't believe we didn't realize this till the other day. The girl that was partnered with Constantine
Mhm.
is the girl on Preacher. Like I
Yeah.
can't believe we didn't put. I remember when we watched Preacher, I was like, gosh, she looks so familiar.
Mhm.
But like I couldn't put my finger on like what she was in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like all the people, and I'm wondering they'll probably cast someone from Teen Wolf to play one of these girls because you know they always
Steal 'em.
they always take someone from Teen Wolf. They'll take Lydia, then she won't be on the show anymore.
I'd get so mad.
It'd be really funny if they cast like Allison or if they cast like Derek's sister to play Batwoman, because then she'll be on Supergirl with him. Like, wouldn't that be
Yeah.
really weird?
Actually,
I'm-
Allison would be really interesting if
Yeah.
that actually happened.
Which I was thinking I'm not exactly sure on this. Comic-Con is either starting next week or it starts the week after, depending on the day it does. Depending on the Arrow stuff, we should do an episode of this. Because if they'll have an Arrow, a Flash, a Supergirl, a Legends of Tomorrow panel, and they should show a trailer
Mhm.
for each show, so we could just do a podcast talking about those 4 things and then our book stuff and all that at the end.
Oh, that'd be
So
cool.
depending on that, I'll bring all this equipment with us because we'll probably be at Mima's watching it.
Mhm.
But so that'll be really cool. But that's next week.
Yeah.
I think that is all I got for the news. At least like, nerdy news stuff like
yeah,
that.
like TV kind of news.
Yeah. So now I got a question for you. Should we talk about the Fousey Tube Stop YouTube drama stuff first, or should we talk about Kim Kardashian versus Taylor Swift first?
Take your pick.
You pick right now.
We could start with the Fousey.
Start with Fousey. So, do you want to explain the whole Fousey Tube thing, or should I?
I think you should. I think you probably have. You know
A lot more of
his
it.
stuff better.
I don't know. Sorry if you heard that I coughed. All right.
Trust me,
So,
they heard it.
So there's been a lot of stuff lately. With this is a guy on YouTube. If you don't know, his name is Fousey Tube. He does pranks and fake pranks,
Oh.
fake social experiments. He does a lot too. But he
Sometimes.
does vlogs too. But he's been in a lot of drama stuff lately. Like, well, most of the time he's in a lot of drama. Like, a lot of drama channels on YouTube do videos about him, like Philip DeFranco or Drama Alert or Scarce, stuff like that. So him and Rice Gum had fake Twitter beef against each other. And it ended with a fake assault video on Twitter where Rice Gum slapped him in the face or punched him in the face. And me and you, we thought it was fake. Philip DeFranco, everybody thought the video was fake and that they were trying to oh, stop YouTube drama.
Yeah.
So then the next day, it's just so retarded. The next day, FouseyTube puts out he puts out a video explaining how it was all fake and behind the scenes, and then putting up all the tweets and all this stuff. And we're like, okay, well this is dumb. And then, but he calls out Philip DeFranco, calls out Drama Alert, calls out everybody. So obviously they do a response video, and then he gets mad that everybody's responding to his fake drama that he did.
Yeah.
Even though that was his intention, was to get them to do that. So it's so stupid that it makes no sense. And also, part of it, like Philip DeFranco explains, the reason I'm reporting on this, I know it's fake, but in the slight chance that it's not fake, they recorded an assault on another person and put it on the internet. And it's against another YouTuber. Like, so if this is real, this is news. This hasn't happened before, where another YouTuber is assaulting another YouTuber.
I feel like that's the point when it's not drama. Once there's actually violence, that's a crime.
That's why people are reporting on it. So then, like, all this stuff keeps coming out back and forth between, like, FouseyTube is releasing stuff about other people, and other people are releasing stuff about FouseyTube. Like, they're exposing each other. So then he puts out a 40-minute YouTube video, which we watched like maybe 20 minutes of.
Maybe.
We had better things to do than watch his stupid video of him complaining about drama. Because he thinks he can end YouTube drama, which is so stupid. You can't end drama. Drama always happens. Yeah. Drama's in TV shows. It's in everything in the world has some type of drama. But he puts out a 40-minute video and he talks about, again, Philip DeFranco, Keemstar, all this stuff, like from Drama Alert, everything. And it's just a whole stupid thing. And then comes out a day later, the day after he did this whole giant thing, he's been exposing everybody, he's trying to end YouTube drama. A trailer for his new movie comes out.
I didn't know that.
Medea, like, it's like Halloween or something. I don't know. It's one of the Medea movies, but he's like the main, he's like one of the stars in it. Like, his name's in the poster and everything. So everyone's like, oh, so he was just stirring up all this fake drama to promote his movie, and he's not admitting it. He's just going to keep going because he's a fake asshole that nobody likes.
Jesus.
Hey, Harley, calm down. We're podcasting over here.
Bunny just committed suicide.
If you heard that, Harley Quinn is my bunny, and she is being a little bitch over there.
She jumped.
Yeah, she thinks she's Spider-Man. This morning I got up to give her water, and she swung from the front of her cage, did not a flip, but did a spin, and landed on the top, like, shelf of her cage. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, you little bunny? But where was I? Oh yeah, so everybody thinks he did all this to promote his movie. And he won't admit it. But then yesterday, I believe, he put out a video of him visiting a kid with cancer. And he did 2 videos. He put out a vlog video about it and another kid. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's cool. He went and visited his fan. But, like, a lot of people think he just videoed that and did that now because he's getting so much hate for doing that YouTube drama stuff.
Probably.
That now he's trying to look like a nice guy for that.
Probably.
Which I don't know if he did that part. I don't know. He looked like a real nice guy in his video. I watched the whole thing. I just watched his FouseyTube one. I didn't watch his vlog one because that was really long. Yeah. His vlogs are like movies. Like, I don't know how he films that much of his day. But I don't know about that. But yeah, so what are your feelings on FouseyTube and all that?
Well, that's like really stupid. Like, I don't really understand where his idea was. Like, how does creating like fake drama stop real drama? Like, I don't understand how that was supposed to work.
It makes no sense at all to me.
Like, even if you have that idea and you want to do something about it, like, I don't know, like, maybe you just don't have anything to do with drama.
Yeah, just maybe. Like, the thing is, he keeps saying that, like, the drama people ruin other YouTubers' lives, and, like, they, like, do all this stuff. But then, like, the guy, Scars, he had a good point. He was like, well, I'm not ruining their careers. If they're putting out a video that's ruining their career, and I just report on it, I let their fans know that they did that. How am I ruining their career? They did that.
Yeah.
They did the crime. I'm just reporting on it, which totally makes sense. It's just news.
Yeah.
He calls news drama. Not every news is drama. Like, they're assaulting. That wasn't drama. That was news. Another YouTuber attacked another YouTuber. Even if it was fake, it's still news.
Yeah, well, because that's not drama. I don't believe that's drama for a second.
Yeah. So
That's
his
too-
whole I don't talk about his thing too much, but his whole thing it's just stupid.
Yeah, I don't.
The only part of that whole thing that I thought was funny
Mhm.
is that like a couple days after it happened, because you watched it with me, in Roman Atwood's vlogs, he pranked because they're going on tour.
Oh,
They're doing
yeah.
like a normal YouTuber tour. They go on stage, do a bunch of like silly stuff for people. Oh God, this is the burpee podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, so he pranked him. He's like, dude, with all this drama stuff, you're getting involved. Like, my parents are talking to me about it. My manager, like, everybody doesn't think it's a good idea for me to go on tour with you. So I canceled the tour and pranked him. And then Fousey was like, what? Like, and like he thought he lost his best friend. Like, did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Roman Atwood, and then what was so funny. His Roman Atwood's girlfriend Brittany was like, is there anybody else you can go on tour with? And that's when Roman lost it. That was funny. See,
Yeah.
I think Roman Atwood's fake too when it comes to being with his friends.
Mhm.
But he's also like a really good family guy, so I have mixed feelings on him. I like Roman Atwood like 100 times more than I like Fousey.
Yeah, he doesn't seem.
He seems very likable. He just seems like he hides the inner asshole that everybody is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I mean.
Which is it's
You're
not
really
that big a deal.
Show.
Yeah.
But and then you could also tell in that video that like Fousey like totally believes he was right.
Yeah, he 100% thinks that he stopped YouTube drama. That he's like gonna.
Yeah, because he was like, I'm
Which is
so much
funny.
more positive.
He did all that, and then if you go to his website, you could buy like it's a YouTube play button, but instead of the play button, it's a heart. Like it's like shirts of it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Keemstar was like, "Oh, so you're ending YouTube drama by trying to make a profit?"
Yeah.
Like I feel everything is just to push himself forward.
Yeah, I mean he's getting paid for that video.
Yeah, in his 40-minute. Okay, so like this other guy was exposing him. So all his fake pranks that he did, he set up fake social. Okay, I said I didn't want to talk about this. Now we're going on, but whatever. He's done fake social experiments to make like white people look racist. Like he did the whole thing. Because like the whole video is fake. So it ends and he does the message how he wants. But it was to make white people look fake, or like his homeless one. It was to make people look dumb. People look mean.
Yeah.
He made, I forget the exact amount, but I think it was like 42,000. It was either 42 or 24. Still a lot of money. $1,000 off that video with all the views and likes he got on it.
I mean, yeah, like it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like he's all fake, and I feel like once his movie is out and done, I guarantee he'll stop talking about this drama stuff.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, so I think that's the end of FouseyTube for right now. If there's any update in this, we'll talk about it in later podcasts. But as of right now, that's it for that.
Yeah.
So should we move on to Kim Kardashian? Do you want to explain this? Because you know more about the interview stuff and all that with Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift than I do. So you can take this one away.
Okay, so I don't know. I heard about this like a week ago maybe or something. And like, a couple weeks ago, the
about
famous song.
a week ago.
Oh my god. The famous song came out and everything.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift was like shocked and like hurt by it, I guess.
Yeah, tried to like, oh, it hurt my feelings and all this stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, she made that big Grammy speech, which we saw.
Yeah.
And like the famous video came out and all that. And then Kim Kardashian said in an interview that they had like warned Taylor Swift like about the lines that were going to be about her in Famous, which they aren't nice. I'd be offended by them.
Yeah, they're not nice, but like I don't know. They're not nice, but they're also like not the most hurtful things ever. You know what I mean?
It's just it's rap.
Yeah, it's just a song. Like you shouldn't take it all to the heart. You know?
Yeah, I mean the song.
Especially because she pretended that all this like they didn't call her and all that.
Yeah.
And it turns out they did. Even if they didn't ask her for some of the things, they asked her for permission for like that one line. So
yeah. So basically, they asked if they could, because Kanye West says that he made her famous. He could have sex with her. He said, like
I forget how it says. It ends with, I think me and Taylor still might have sex.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact line.
Something about.
And her response is like, oh, that's funny. It's almost like a compliment, like in the video, because Kim Kardashian released the full video on her Snapchat, which we'll get into why that might be wrong in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then she was like, oh, like, so all this has come out. Everyone's like, oh, Taylor Swift is fake because she lied about that, and clearly it says she's saying in the video, oh yeah, go ahead, whichever line you want to use. Like, if you think the more provocative one will be better, it's your song. So whatever you think is best, go with it. And he's like, okay, yeah. She's like, oh, it's so
she
nice.
went on
yeah,
about how
it's
she
so
was
nice of you to call me and like ask. I would never expect that and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to hurt your feelings as a friend
Which
and all
is
this stuff.
funny because that shows that he was purposely trying to stay out of the drama. And
Yeah.
look how that.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Fousey Tube.
Yeah, apparently.
But yeah,
But-
so then all this stuff came out because Taylor Swift kept lying about that, so they released the video on their Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
And then Taylor Swift responded on Twitter, "Oh, where's the video of him asking me if it's okay to call me the B word and stuff like this?" And
Yeah.
that whole response, and then people noticed, which we saw this in Philip DeFranco's video,
Yeah.
people noticed that if you look at the top of her like screenshot of because it was in her notes,
Mhm.
that it says search, and if you make a new note, it doesn't say search. It just
Yeah.
it says just as notes, like recent notes. So she had this written previously, like unless
Like
she
she's
she wrote it and then like, oh, I gotta write more notes real quick and then I'll release this Twitter thing. Like I doubt that happened.
Yeah.
So she had this already planned.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knew that they were gonna release it at some point and just had that ready, which is
Yeah. Weird.
well, the whole situation's a little weird with stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's a publicity stunt, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Like the whole entire thing's fake.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian
know
is
that
with Taylor
Her
Swift doing it.
not Kim Kardashian. Kanye West and Taylor Swift's whole relationship is weird because it seems like sometimes
forever.
they're like friendly, but sometimes they're not. Like they're always fighting or they're fake fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all weird.
It is really weird.
So the part that'll be weird. So like I feel like this will tell if the thing is like fake or not.
Yeah.
Is because in California, they have a 2-party consent law. Which you're breathing into the mic again. They have a 2-party consent law where both parties on the phone have to agree for you to record it. And according to Taylor Swift, clearly she didn't agree to it. So if one of them was in California when they were recording this, either Kanye West or Taylor Swift, which a lot of people think Kanye West recorded it in California to use it, like his people are saying that, like TMZ I think reported on that, but he's saying no, I was in New York. But like, so the big question is, if Taylor Swift was in California, she can like take him to court. This whole thing could go to court. But if she was in, I think they said she lives in Tennessee, or she could have been in Tennessee with her family or something.
It was something like that.
Then she can't because Tennessee, I guess, is the same one-party law, so one person. That's a really weird law because, like, of course, the person recording is gonna consent.
Yeah, that is a weird law.
Yeah, it's probably one of those laws that sounded good, but that it was poorly written because of that.
I guess it makes sense in a way. Well, it's kind of weird because, like, I don't know, in movies they never think of that. Like they always like wire someone or something like that. But I wonder how that goes with like people you're recording 2 different people's conversations and you're not like there, like, you know?
Yeah,
it's very odd.
It's a very odd thing. But yeah, so we'll see in a couple days probably if I don't know.
There's stuff going down with Taylor Swift's friends too. Like Selena Gomez is getting a lot of hate right now, and Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe Moretz, that whole thing was weird. So, like, she tweeted, like, everybody needs to get their heads out of holes, like out of drama, like, all this stuff's stupid, and just move on. Yeah. And then Khloe Kardashian tweeted, it was a picture of her normal, like, in a bikini, filming Neighbors. And then the next picture was a girl on a guy's back, I'm assuming. Yeah. And the guy was, like, holding her butt, and when he did that, he didn't know, but he was spreading her bikini backwards, and you could see the girl's asshole. And you could see a little bit of her vagina. Yeah. And so, like, people thought that was Chloe Moretz, which I don't know. Because
it matched the top?
It matched the top, but it didn't match the bottom. So then Chloe Moretz responded, well, the first photo is me filming my movie Neighbors 2. Clearly you can see my bottoms are blue. Yeah. And the second one is a girl getting photographed. Like
wrongly photographed, yeah. And her bottoms are orange. Yeah. But
so, like, it wasn't her. So, but then Khloe Kardashian replied, like, what was her reply? Oh, I think it was like, I'm not one to bully, but I'm one to, like,
stand up
for my sister and my family or something like that. But she left the photograph still, so like some random girl's asshole is still on Khloe Kardashian's
I know, and it's getting
Twitter.
seen by tons of people.
Yeah,
it's
like I
guarantee
on Twitter. Khloe Kardashian's so famous that whoever's asshole that is,
I bet they saw it.
They've seen their asshole on someone else's Twitter.
Like, that's
which
so
is weird. Like, imagine you're like, what's on Twitter today? And there's my butthole.
What's worse too is that, like, that's a stranger that took that photo of that girl.
Yeah. So, like,
and posted it.
I wonder if whoever took the photo and then said it was Khloe Moretz, or like, I don't know if they did both those. But like,
you know what's weird too is like, so Khloe Kardashian.
Khloe Kardashian.
Kardashian had to look up.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought was weird too. I was like, did she have that photo saved? Like, oh, one day when this bitch tweets, I'ma hit her with this asshole. Like, what? Or did she? Or when she just like, okay, she tweeted that. Let me Google Chloe Moretz asshole. Oh, okay, there's that. Like,
it's really weird.
I wanna ask her. Like, I wish we could interview her. What was the process of getting that butthole pic?
Yeah, like it's so weird. And then so like everybody is like commenting at like Selena and her too, because they were both saying like, why are you guys paying attention to this stupid drama, blah blah blah. There are more important things happening. And I thought this was really funny because one girl tweeted at Selena Gomez like, okay, but like how come you're not talking about any of the situations that are actually going on in the world right now? Like they say that now, but before they weren't talking about any of the issues happening, like with the Black Lives Matter and like all that stuff, like the thousands of shootings that have been happening, and stuff like that. And then I thought it was really funny because she replied back and she said that Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. That's not your name.
And she said me saying Black Lives Matter won't change a thing, and stuff like that. And I was like, well, there goes your whole point.
Yeah.
Then you should be tweeting at all. If they're supposed to be tweeting about important things.
Didn't she delete that tweet?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I probably would have deleted that too.
Yeah,
to be honest.
but it's too late. Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's one of the sad thing. If you have a lot of Twitter followers, easy for me to say. The second you tweet something, someone's screenshotting, especially if it's stupid like that.
Yeah, and then so they showed too. There was pictures, and it was people like searching through Chloe Moretz's tweets and everything. And she said nothing about like the Orlando shootings, nothing about Black Lives Matter, nothing like that. Like.
But then she randomly did stuff because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, their arguments are like.
Yeah.
I get what they're saying. But you can't just feel that when that goes down.
It's just one of those things where like you don't like. Obviously they care, but they're not gonna tweet anything. But then because it's happening to like their best friend, they're like, oh, I gotta stand up for my friend.
Yeah, like
it's just one of those. But like
you should
admit like, oh, of course she's my friend. I'm gonna stand up for her. Not be like, well, everybody should tweet good things.
Yeah.
Except for me.
We need to raise awareness about important things. Well, then do it.
Like this random girl's butthole. Let's find out how Khloe Kardashian got it. That's important things. Let's start a hashtag. How'd you find the butthole?
Oh my god. No.
Let's get that trending.
Oh my god. It's just really awful. They're so funny. All these people.
It's a weird time to live.
I know. And I was thinking too is because like it's so funny because I bet you would think celebrities can post anything and their like fans would be like standing up for them and everything, but at this point I feel like we're like a generation that loves to argue so much. So we'll even argue with our idols.
The person you love could say something and you're like, well, fuck you. Why do you say that? By the way, I love
wrong.
you. You want to hang out? Like
I know, like we're becoming a lot more argumentative as time goes on.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
So should we move on to our review of Ghostbusters?
Sure.
So would you like to tell the story of Ghostbusters as quick as you can? Let's try to explain the story of the new Ghostbusters in like a minute.
Okay, I'll try. Let's see how this goes. I'm not a good talker.
I'm hoping that this just becomes our thing.
Okay, so the girl, Kristen Wiig, is a scientist. She's working as a professor.
Hold on, pause. One question. Does she have a wig?
No.
Okay,
I don't know.
Carry on.
Maybe at some point. At one point in the movie she does.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Okay.
So,
spoilers.
Not particularly. But, yeah, so she's a scientist. Back a while ago, her and her best friend, which is Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
Right? So they wrote a story about ghosts, like, a while back, and now she's
Are they afraid of ghosts?
No.
Okay.
So they're getting a lot of
publicity.
See, told you, not good talker. Publicity, and that's not good for her.
It's a good thing you're on a podcast.
Oh my god. 'Cause she's a scientist, and like it's not really logical to believe in those things.
Yeah.
With being a scientist, and so she's about to get tenure, and she doesn't want to lose that. And so she goes to talk to Melissa McCarthy to talk her out of doing it, and then she tells her that this place is like haunted or whatever. And then they go.
Well, and also when she's there to meet Melissa McCarthy, she meets Chris. No, I almost said the same girl you just said.
No, I actually don't know her name.
I knew her name. Here, you continue with the story. I'll look it up.
Freaking hilarious. But so the girl that Jerome's gonna search, they meet her, and then they go to check out this haunted house, and they see a real ghost, and so that kind of like ignites something where they get like really hyped up about it.
Yeah.
But then
because they get footage of a real live ghost.
yeah, and then there's a video when they leave, and Kristen Wiig is freaking out that they saw a live ghost, but that gets online.
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon?
Yeah, Kate McKinnon. They meet Kate McKinnon before when she went to go meet Melissa.
Yeah, she sees the ghost with them.
Kate McKinnon's her name.
Yeah,
Easiest way to
so
say
then
that.
Kristen Wiig gets fired, and it kind of starts to be there in this business, and they
Yeah. And then also I'm gonna jump in here.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, while all that's happening, Leslie Jones is working in the subway, and some crazy guy goes up to her, starts talking about the apocalypse, all this shit. She's like, "Man, this guy's crazy." But then she sees him go down like where the train's coming from. So when she goes down there, something explodes, and she sees a ghost. So like that's then she's kind of in search for the Ghostbusters while that's going on.
Yeah, so then they start to become the Ghostbusters. They get their own place, yada yada. A lot of funny moments, you know. And then Leslie Jones gets in contact with them, wants them to find the ghost that she found. They get a receptionist who is Thor.
Yeah.
Or what is his name?
I'll look up his name for the movie.
I always think of his brother.
Oh, his real life name?
Yeah.
Forgot that too. Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
It doesn't say his name for the movie. They said it 1,000 times, and I don't know his name in the movie.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah,
they did say it a bunch.
So Chris Hemsworth and them go on. I'm just gonna finish it up real quick.
Yeah.
So like the Ghostbusters, they have a team. They're hunting ghost stuff here and there. They meet a couple of the original Ghostbusters.
Yes.
This isn't connected to those movies, but they meet them.
Mm-hmm.
So this one guy keeps putting up these. I don't know exactly what they're called because they did a lot of talk of like
Big
sciencey
words.
shit in this movie.
Yeah,
and
I don't
didn't
even know
explain
if they
what
were
it
all
meant.
real.
But so these bombs kept blowing up, and they would make ghosts appear. But they would like tap into the ghost dimension, and they were all like connected to this. Like they were through. What were they called? That you said that I didn't remember from Teen Wolf. What was it called? Whatever. There was lines like in through a map connected to this one building that had like this giant bomb that would release every ghost in the ghost dimension.
Yeah.
So eventually that happens. Bunch of ghosts flying around. They beat him, but then the guy, when the bomb explodes, the guy touched it and he killed himself. But then he became a giant ghost, so he's the big bad guy that they have to beat at the end. They beat him, and hooray, they're the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Which watching the movie is way better than how we explained it. We just had to get through it real quick.
Yeah, we just got through the plot points. There's a lot more humor and character development.
So what are your thoughts on the new Ghostbusters?
I thought it was funny. Like, my thing is that they did have to set it up.
Yeah, the movie.
They had to set
the movie
that
took
all
a
up.
little bit to get going.
Yeah.
Took about maybe 20, 25 minutes to get going. But then once that was done, I really liked the movie.
Yeah, it was really funny, and that's why I'd hope they'd be able to make sequels.
Yeah.
Is because then they can just.
I waited to tell you this for like 2 days for us to do our podcast. Sony executives have said, yeah, we're no matter what, we're doing Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's great.
He's like, they're like, it's gonna happen. Which I saw. It made 40.
Yeah.
It's doing okay in the box office. So that's good. I really liked the movie. I would totally watch more. Especially because it's already got going, and they don't gotta worry about if people are gonna like it, so they can just make a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, like I think they'll be really good because like that was its only drawback a bit was because they had to set it up.
Yeah,
so
but like every movie has to do that. I feel like Ghostbusters 2 will be better than Ghostbusters 2.
Yes,
if you know what I mean.
It better be.
One of my I'm gonna say right now 2 of my favorite. So now we're gonna get into spoilers on and off here. So if you haven't seen Ghostbusters, maybe you should fast forward or just listen because you might want to. Most likely will make you want to see Ghostbusters. I don't know. But one of my favorite jokes in it was when oh my god, I forgot his name. What's the guy?
Chris Hemsworth?
No. The guy from Silicon Valley. What was his name in Silicon Valley?
Oh,
Jared.
Jared
from Silicon Valley, which you probably don't know. I don't know if you watch Silicon Valley people or not. But
he's hilarious. He was in The Office also.
He's really funny. So he's like. He's a tour guide for this haunted house. It's the first place they go to in the movie. Mm-hmm. He's actually like the first person you see in the movie. It starts off with him. But so Kristen Wiig is going to meet him with Melissa McCarthy and Kate McKinnon and all these people. They're going to go meet him. They're like, oh, yeah, we met this guy, blah, blah, said his name. And he's like, that guy's been dead for like 45 years or whatever. And then they're like, oh, my God, yeah, we saw a ghost. We saw a ghost. Mm-hmm. And then the guy they saw walk up and they're like, well, then who's this? He's like, oh, well, then it says his name Junior. And she's like, well, clearly I meant that guy. Like, it was a total Jared thing from Silicon Valley to do. Like, that was one of the funniest jokes ever. And then the other funny thing in the movie is every single word that comes out of Chris Hemsworth's mouth. Yeah. Like, I heard a couple people here and there say, like not every single one of his jokes landed, but they like the majority of it. To me, I'm simple, so every one of his jokes
Yeah.
landed for me. But like, so there's a part where they're interviewing him, and he goes to itch his eye, and he's wearing glasses, and it goes right through where the lens would be, and just itches and keeps going on with the interview, and they're like, wait, hold on a second,
Yeah.
I gotta ask. Why no glasses? And he's like, oh, well, because they got really dirty. So I thought, oh, just take the glass out.
Which that really made me giggle because it's
Yeah, 'cause
such a thing
me-
you don't
Yeah,
expect.
me and you were just both watching, and he itches, and we're both like, what the hell?
Yeah,
And we laughed.
I didn't know if they were gonna talk about it.
I thought they were just gonna go past it too, which that's one thing I thought was way funnier. Is usually in movies someone does something stupid and then they just move on and they think like, oh, the audience will get it, but they like talked about his stupid shit, which made it even funnier.
Yeah.
But so then also
Just
as
giggling.
so they start talking about like, should we hire him or what? You know, like
Mhm.
having a little huddle. And he's over. They've like got like a fish tank and has a fake phone in the fish tank.
Yeah.
And he keeps going to reach for.
Your lights just flickered.
Yeah, that scared me. The whole lights flickered in the house. He reached for the phone and kept hitting the glass and was like, ow. Ow. He kept hitting it. So then later when he gets the job, spoilers, he's sitting at the desk and they're like, did you spill your Mountain Dew all
I
over
did
yourself?
just spill on myself.
Taylor's tried to take a drink and spilled Mountain Dew all over her. But later, so he's sitting at his desk, and every time the phone rings, they have to remind him to answer the phone because he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
But so they're like, can you get the phone? He's like, no, it's in the fish tank.
That made me giggle.
And they're like, no, the one on your desk that's ringing.
He was really funny.
So then I'm gonna tell one more of his jokes. There's one more where he gets a phone call and he answers it and he's like, Ghostbusters, what do you want? And he keeps going talking to the person, whatever, and he hangs up and he's just sitting there. And they're like, what'd they say? He's like, oh, there's a goat on the loose somewhere.
that really, like, that
So
little
the-
humor.
And what's
is-
funny is they're at that point they're just so sick of him that they just pack up their bags and leave because they know what he
Yeah.
meant. But it was little things like that made the movie really funny. And like I actually liked Melissa McCarthy because like Taylor knows this.
Mhm.
I don't like Melissa McCarthy a lot in any of the other movies we've watched. There's been
Yeah.
usually I don't turn off movies in the middle, but there is a couple movies of hers that I've just turned off and I don't like. So like I was one of those people that like I wasn't like, oh, Ghostbusters is gonna be stupid, it's gonna ruin my childhood because of blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But I just thought, it doesn't look that good to me. I might not see it, whatever.
Yeah.
But then eventually, the more I saw trailers, I was like, okay, well, it doesn't look that bad. And then I saw some people like talking about it that I like on YouTube,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. So we went and saw it, and I really liked it.
Yeah. I mean,
mean-
for me, she was kind of like normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but
depending
the
on
thing-
which movie you see.
Maybe this will make me like her in other movies now that I've actually liked her
Yeah.
in something.
Well, 'cause like, I feel like some of the time she has to, like, be very exaggerated. Because
Yeah.
she got to be, like, more normal kind of humor.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed it. I love all the girls in it.
Yeah.
So I was excited for it.
So I'm gonna get again more spoilers here. This is the end credit scene. So if you don't know the end credit scene, just skip like a minute or something. I'll have the whole episode time stamped in the description. So like if you want to go to certain points of this podcast, you can there. So I'll get out of this part there. But so after the credits, the credits were really hilarious. There was a
Yeah.
dance sequence with Chris, because at the end of the movie, Chris Hemsworth is like standing on top of a theater, and it totally, because he's like, oh, we're gonna do a good New York, and like saying all this stuff, and like
Mhm.
New York's known for musicals, so I thought, oh, he's gonna do a musical there.
Yeah.
But then that's the credits. So I'm assuming that's one of the parts they cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
But then after all that, the actual end credit scene is Leslie Jones listening to the little machine that like was making the fart noises earlier,
Mhm.
and she's like listening to it, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be a stupid end credit scene where it's like a little fart gag, and like it'll be funny, but whatever. And then like, did you hear anything weird? And she takes off her head and she's like, yeah, what's Zool? And they're all like, I don't know. And they
Mhm.
walk away, which Zool is the bad guy in the sequel. So I'm wondering if they'll do like the same, like it'd be cool if Ghostbusters 2, because it's a reboot, but like it's not the same story.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of cool if Ghostbusters 2 was an actual reboot of Ghostbusters 2.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think I really enjoyed the movie. I would definitely watch more of these characters hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. Now it's not the best movie ever. It's not better than like Civil War or like some really good movies that have come out this year. I don't think,
Mhm.
but it's definitely top up there in like comedies or entertainment for me.
Yeah.
I think it's in the
It's
top.
a good
It's in the
movie.
top 3 of movies I've seen this year. I think.
It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. It'll
Yeah.
entertain you for that time.
It'll definitely yeah. Like if you're bored on a weekend and you can go to the theater, I recommend going and seeing this.
Yeah.
Or even if you're not bored, or you just want to go to the theater, go see Ghostbusters.
It'll make you smile.
I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy 80 to 70% of the movie, which is A lot more than you can say about a lot of movies,
Yeah.
especially these days when they just spit out movies like crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
But yes, I think that is at the end of anything else you want to say about Ghostbusters. We move on to Stranger Things.
No, I think we're good.
You're good. All right, so now we're talking about Stranger Things, which is a new Netflix series. Forgot the name of the girl who's in it. What's her name?
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Stars her, kind of. Mostly stars these 4 little boys, which
Yeah.
I really like the boys. I don't know. Do you remember
They're
their
cool.
names from the show?
Like there's
Their character names?
there's Will that goes missing.
Yeah, Will
There's
Will
Mike,
is missing. Real Mike.
Lenny? No.
Uh,
Something with an L, I think, and Dustin.
yeah, okay. And then I know one of the sisters' names is Nancy.
Yeah, and Nancy's.
So should we just make the only thing
Mike's
we say
sister.
about that show as the name of characters?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the end.
No, the show is really cool. It's very different. It's like a mixture of like Goonies and what's that movie called from
Super.
Super 8. Yeah, it's like Goonies and Super 8. Like it's kids going on an adventure, but there's like a monster, which there's no monster in Goonies, but
The kid's name is Lucas. BT Dubs.
Lucas. Okay, yeah, but it's really neat because like we're 4 episodes in. We'll probably finish it this weekend. So by the next podcast, we'll do a full review of the entire series. But like you don't know if it's an alien or a monster. It's some type of thing. It kind of seems like it's alien, but then it kind of seems like it doesn't. But it's a very unique, cool show.
Yeah, it gets you invested.
I'm hoping there's more seasons. I don't know. I think it might be just a mini series because it's 8 episodes.
I think there is going to be more seasons.
More seasons, you think?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, it depends how it does, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think they're hoping for more seasons.
It's very cool. Netflix does a really good job of doing shows.
Yeah.
Besides Degrassi.
True.
Netflix Degrassi was fucking terrible. Although, they're doing a reunion episode, you said, right? What date does that come out?
I believe it's the 22nd.
22nd? So, our next podcast, too, we'll talk about Degrassi. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be real
But, so,
interesting.
what's your favorite thing about Stranger Things right now?
Well, it's kind of weird, but I really like its, like tone, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, creepy, and you don't really know what's going on, but then they have, like, you, like the characters.
Do you like the high schoolers a lot?
I mean, I feel bad for the girl Nancy because she's so peer pressured.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the high schoolers are like the least entertaining part of the show.
They definitely are, but even saying that, I feel like it's still interesting. So it's good for the show that they're least. It's
not those parts of shows where you're like, oh, okay, this is the boring part. I can go to the bathroom. Like you don't want to miss anything,
Mm-hmm.
but they're the least interesting part.
Yeah, well, I mean, 'cause it's cliched, definitely. She's peer pressured into being with her dude friend, drinking, blah blah blah.
They go have sex, and then her friend goes missing because she's having sex, stuff like that. But it's really cool too because like the people go missing, which 2 people are only missing at the point we are in the show. I don't know how many are missing at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's weird because it seems like they're on like an alternate dimension kind of because when the girl went missing, she was in the pool.
Yeah.
And climbing out, and like the boy is inside the house, like climbing. Like
that's
it's
thinking.
very odd, but cool how that stuff is.
That's what I'm imagining because the mother, Winona Ryder, speaks to her kid through the lights, like Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'm imagining it is like, it's like he's there, but he's not there. Like, he can see her and everything, but she can't
like he's on a different plane.
hear him or see him. Yeah, and then so, like, say he touches the light, it turns on. So that's what I'm imagining so far, but we really
don't know.
have much details.
We're halfway through the show, and we still have lots of questions, which is one reason why I'm hoping that there's going to be more, because, like, I doubt they can answer all these questions in 4 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, they do reveal a lot in each episode.
Yeah, I don't know, I recommend watching, especially because it's on Netflix, so it's practically free.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. It has you trying to guess what's happening as it's going, and you're trying to figure it out.
Is it the first episode when that guy gets shot?
Yes.
Yeah, first episode. This little girl.
His name is Benny or something.
Yeah, Benny. She's at this guy's diner. I'm assuming it's a diner. I don't know. She was like digging in the trash, and he let her, and he called social services, which he thought was social services. Showed up, but it was the people that were like scientists working on her, and they just walk in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I like kind of wanted you to." He was like kind of confrontational with the girl when she showed up.
Like the questioning a bit.
Like the social worker lady. and then she walks in and just shoots Benny in the fucking head. I mean, you're like, oh
I
my
know.
god.
Like, that really shocked me, too, because he
Yeah.
seems so nice. It seemed like
Yeah.
he was going to be, like,
It,
helping
it
the
was
girl
really
for a
sad
while.
too, because when the sheriff showed up, someone's like, "Oh, I bet you feel like you're a big city cop now, huh?"
Yeah.
He was like, "No, when in the city, I dealt with strangers. Benny was my friend."
Yeah, that was real
And it's
sad.
so
And
sad
Benny
'cause, like,
seemed like a
He
good
lost
guy.
his best friend. Well, not maybe not best friend. He lost his friend. He lost his daughter a couple years ago, which I'm wondering if his daughter was taken by this stuff, because we don't know.
Yes.
We don't know how long it's been going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool show. So we can't like rate it or anything, because we haven't seen the full series. Maybe it's like sucks by the end, which I highly doubt.
Assuming it's gonna be one of my favorite shows, even at the end.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really cool. So look forward to us next week talking fully about that,
Yes.
because we'll definitely have it finished by next podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably have it finished tonight, maybe. I don't know, because I want to watch more of it tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Although we do have a lot to watch tonight. We have to watch Scream, and we gotta watch Preacher.
Scream's on tomorrow.
Scream's on tomorrow. Oh fuck, it's not Tuesday.
I know it's Monday.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay, we'll watch Scream tomorrow. Which Scream? Let's jump back to the news section. Scream, I'm like 80% sure is canceled. So no season 3 of Scream.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was getting slowly better, but it's still not that great of a show.
Yeah, it all depends on the reveal.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So, is there anything else you want to say about Stranger Things? Any like things you want to throw out there?
No, just watch it.
Yeah, definitely. I
Experience it
recommend
yourself.
watch it. I mean, I think the first episode should have you hooked. I think
Yeah,
it definitely had us hooked. I mean, if not episode 1, then definitely episode 2. You'll want to like watch more.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to the part of the show that doesn't have a name yet, but it's our entertainment update. What maybe we should call it that?
It doesn't have a name here. Let me give it one.
But it's where we talk about like any random shows that we started watching or rewatching, or books we finished and all this stuff. So I'm gonna start off with one, like we'll like take turns going back and forth, I think. So I'm gonna start off with a brand new comic that I read last week, I believe. And I don't know when more come out, but it was very interesting and very different. It was it's super. I think it's called the All New Superman, or just New Superman #1. It's a new DC comic in their new Rebirth issues. But it's really cool. So it's I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's just Chinese. I think he lives in China. Yeah, I said it was Chinese. I didn't say Japanese before.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's just Chinese. And his name is Kanan, I believe. I don't remember a lot of like little details. I read it a week ago. And it's just one issue. But he's got like a Lois Lane. It's like basically it's like Lana Lane. It's not Lana Lane, but it's spelled a lot like that. And she's a reporter for like there too. So it's basically the same type of thing. But it starts out with him, like he's doing the monologue, for the beginning of the issue, talking about like how he's important and all this stuff. And then it goes to this kid being bullied, and he, like as the situation's going on, he's like, "Wait, you don't think I'm this big fat boy getting bullied, do you? That kid's not important at all." And like doing all this stuff, and then the kid gets bullied, and then as this is going on, I think he steals the kid's like lunch or something or drink, and when he goes to drink it, it explodes on him and it's terrible. So then he yells at the kid, but then like the big bad guy for where they live, like their villain appears, and they said not many people have survived him showing up there, and he's about to hurt the kid he was bullying.
Yeah.
And so he like throws the soda or whatever he took at the guy, and it hits him, and the guy flies away. So everybody sees that, and they call him a hero. And they're like he's like playing off like, "Oh yeah, I'm a hero. I just did that to save the day." Like all this stuff. He's like a big he's really cocky.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool because like I don't know, it was just different. Yeah. So then as that's going on, it cuts to you see these people. I forget what they're called. That's like this big research science group of people, and they see him on the news and like, "Oh, he'll work, and like that would be good. He'd work for us perfectly." So then he goes home to tell his dad and all this stuff. They're like, "Oh, did you see me on the news?" His dad's like, "Yeah, you don't need to be on the news because his dad has like a support. I don't know what it's called. Maybe a support group or a research group. They're trying to prove that group that you saw earlier exists. Because no one knows that they do. Doing all this stuff, and his dad just gets mad at him. Like, I know. He's like, "What were you even doing with that kid anyway? I know all you do is bully that kid. You blame him for your mom's death and all this stuff, which we find out later that kid's dad owns like an airline, so he blames that kid's dad and his family because his mom died. And you're like, oh, that's kind of sad. So then you slowly start to get like, he shouldn't be bullying, but you start to get why he's doing it and you feel bad for him. But then like slowly later on, that group gets him and they explain to him because right now in DC Comics, Earth 1 Superman's dead, and Earth 2 Superman's here now. But I don't think he's as far as I am in the comics, he hasn't revealed to himself yet. He buried Superman and all that stuff. He might have went back to Earth 2 because I think Superboy's gonna be doing shit now as Superman. But so they explain Superman's dead, but before he died, we took his powers, like we took like part of his DNA or something, and then we can make more. We can make one more Superman. So like he's like, oh cool, yeah, I'll be Superman, all this stuff, yeah, that's awesome. So then they put him into this machine, and all of a sudden as it's closing, he's like, guys, never mind, I don't want to do this, guys, no, stop. And a big light goes, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm having this dream again. And he has this dream where he's like floating, and he sees his mom's plane going by. Or no, maybe he's not floating. Oh no, he says like he has this recurring dream. He's like, oh, well, I'm not usually floating or flying in my dream. And he goes and he's trying to save his mom's plane, doing all this stuff. And then he wakes up on the thing, and he's in his own like special. It's like red and has like a gold S for Superman. Also, he's in his own Superman outfit and flying up. And he keeps doing his laser eyes and all stuff because he's like all of a sudden he has Superman powers now.
Yeah.
So it gets like really cool. And they're like, stop! He's like, why would I stop? This is awesome. And then also people show up and go, or we will stop you. And it's because his is Super Dash Man. So Bat Dash Man shows up, and Wonder Dash Woman shows up, and it's going to be in, like, I think it's called Justice League of China. So they're starting a whole Chinese Justice League team.
Yeah, that's weird.
With, like, a Chinese Batman and a Chinese Wonder Woman and a Chinese Superman. But, like, it's really cool. So far, like, I really like it. I think it's really interesting.
It does sound
I think
cool.
the Chinese Justice League comes out next week, or maybe
that's
All New
cool.
Superman comes out next week. So slowly as we do these podcasts, I'll talk more and more about him. So then do you want to talk about Nerve real quick, and then after that, I'll talk about Flash Rebirth number 2?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, Nerve was really good. I don't think it's gonna be anything like. Well, I think it's gonna be the same concept as the movies. I just don't think the dares are gonna be quite the same, or
do you think that like
or the conclusion
is the book gonna be more extreme, or is the movie gonna be more extreme?
So far it seems like, to me at least, the movie's gonna be more extreme.
Oh, okay.
In the book, there's nothing about stealing identities or anything like that.
So the movie will be more intense. You think like they're moving it up a little bit?
Yeah, it seems so. It doesn't seem like it's gonna like end the same way. You know how she points a gun in the trailer?
Yeah, a little bit.
The whole ending has to do with guns.
Really?
There's a lot of gun stuff, but yeah, it does have like a Hunger Games kind of feel towards it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's good. It's different. It's not. It's obviously not kids trying to kill each other, but it does have people who are just trying to be ruthless because they want their money, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Is Casey Neistat in the book?
No.
That I'm not reading it.
No. They don't really talk much about the other people.
It's just like So is it the same characters that are gonna be in the movie, like the same girl and guy?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and basically, Emma Roberts' character is kind of like, it's kind of weird because she's supposed to be like this brunette who's like looks like a little girl kind of thing.
And doesn't look like Emma Roberts.
And then I'm pretty sure Dave Franco's supposed to have longer hair, and he doesn't.
Oh, really?
Besides that, it sounds exactly like him.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But like he's supposed to be rugged and hot and stuff, you know. And she kind of,
look like me.
Like everybody like loves him and is like crushing on him basically.
Again, me.
Yeah. Sure. And yeah, she's just kind of scared and stuff like that, and then she decides to do something crazy, and she goes for the dares because she's crushing on this guy, and he said she'll never do it, stuff like that. So she kind of just does it with her friend, and then like slowly she's liking the stuff they're offering her, so she keeps doing it more and more. It just keeps continuing like that. Like she likes the stuff, and then they get to the end games where it's like you have to be there for like 3 hours basically, and you can't quit. If one of the people quits, like the 10 or something people in the room, nobody gets their prizes. It's all or nothing.
Really?
Yes, so they get very upset if you even show any sign of weakness. So it gets kind of intense in that way, where they're like really pissed off even if you are questioning the dare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it got really interesting with that.
So tell us about the ending.
Like what happens?
Yeah, spoilers. Tell us Tell us the ending and then tell us how you think it'll be different in the movie.
Okay, spoilers for the ending. Well, okay, so she goes, when they're in that room, basically she's very uneasy about the whole thing. And in the beginning of the book, you learn that she had this accident. She's been grounded for like months and months. And
So is she grounded throughout the whole book?
no, like she gets ungrounded for a night basically, and this
okay.
all occurs in one night.
Oh, it's all one night?
Yeah.
I figured it was like nights and nights and nights.
Well, okay, the first dare is a different day, and then the rest is
then
like
after
one
that's one night?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Basically. And then like the aftermath, you know. But so she was in her car and she was listening to music and she was being stupid basically. And she just kind of like fell asleep or something like that with the car on. Obviously, so they thought she tried to commit suicide and all that. And then when she's in the 3-hour like dare place, they each have to go to their own like room and get their dare, and they give her a car. It's her exact car basically, and she gets in there, and then they like jam her seatbelt and they start playing the song she was listening to when it happened.
God.
And it doesn't really ever tell you. Either she's hallucinating that the car fumes are going, or they're actually filling the room with car fumes. You don't really know. And none of the people who orchestrate the game are known. So it's not
really?
like she couldn't.
Do you think that'll be different in the movie? Do you think like it'll be like known actors, or do you think it'll stay like it'll just happen?
Like the game not being.
Like the people that's setting up are known.
I don't think it can be.
Oh, okay.
But so then she kind of thinks like they're trying to kill the people. They can't do this. And then they go in the room and they keep getting dares, and it's getting worse and worse for her, and she wants to quit, but like everybody in the entire room hates her basically except for Dave Franco. And
does she think Dave Franco hates her though? Does she know that?
She's questioning him a bit. They kind of got romantic.
Oh, okay.
And she doesn't know if it's like a dare of his to be romantic with her, or if it's just like.
Yeah, that's one thing. You would question that a lot.
Yeah, she questions basically everything.
I mean, you kind of have to, especially with like, because I don't know, I haven't read the book, but from how the movie looks, you would, if you're hanging out with someone that's doing this stuff, you'd question like every single dare.
Yeah, and a lot of his rewards are about getting like freedom, emancipation, like getting camping stuff, getting like airplane tickets, and
really.
Yeah, so she's kind of questioning him, but so then, in like one of the last dares is that they open this drawer or whatever, and they each all get like guns, and they're real
Holy
guns,
shit.
and then you have to watch a video about how to load the gun and all this.
Oh my god.
And then they all have to vote for a victim, which they all voted her.
Really?
Except Dave Franco. Well, no, I guess 2 of them voted to kill Dave Franco, and Dave Franco voted a different person. And then
so does it end in like a shootout?
Not exactly, but so then they all have to point it at their person or whatever, and then because she quit one of the dares earlier, they were like, you need a repercussion or whatever. So then her best friend, who she already pissed off in the night from another dare, and this other dude that she was friends with in the beginning, they come in there and she's like, oh shit, now there's guns and my friends are now in this room too and everybody hates me. And then so like a bunch of stuff goes down. Eventually they turn off the lights in the room, and they have like strobe lights going because they kind of want to freak them out and make somebody shoot, you know?
So like, I got a question.
Yeah.
So while this is going on, how are you watching it? Is there like cameras?
There's cameras all over the room. And then so like a bunch of stuff happens. The friend tells her that he called the cops or whatever.
Yeah.
Before they came there, but now they're trapped in there too. She's asked to leave a bunch of times, but they won't let her leave. And then all the chairs and the table are like on chains, kind of swinging. And then she's looking at this wall, and it's kind of like a weird wall, and she starts to like really, really look at it. She figures out that it's glass, and so there's like watchers on the other side of it. It's like a mirror thing.
So I guess I'll let you tell the story.
But so then Dave Franco and her kind of like start to get up, and they're like, guys, let's play. At least if we're gonna be in here, let's be like entertaining, you know, for our viewers.
Yeah.
Stuff. And they slowly like try to slide the table and break the wall, and you know they keep doing that, but nobody wants them to do it because then they won't win their prizes.
Oh yeah.
So then they break the wall, and like the watchers run and scream and everything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but so, like it's just
falling on you.
It's like a little chip, and it's like thick glass too. It's not like skinny stuff. And so she sees the people running, and then the other people start to fight them and be like, no, you ain't going anywhere. They have like 8 minutes left maybe of the game, but she thinks they're gonna die by then. So she starts kicking this thing, and people are fighting and stuff. Eventually she gets out, but her friends are left back in there. And then she sees the Watchers, and they're all going into an elevator, and she has her gun, and she points it at them.
Yeah.
And there's this one guy that was in one of her previous dares. She tells him to come with her. And then
if you want to live.
Yeah, basically. And then she points the gun to him and shows the other people, because she wants her friends to be able to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And she shows it to the people that are trying to hold back her friends. Like, I'm going to kill him if you don't let my friends go. And then you're not getting any of your prizes because this is one of their Watchers. They're not going to reward you. So eventually they let their friends go through. And then they get in the elevator. And she's talking to her one friend he's like really smart. And basically she realized that he was with the game people. Like, he was getting paid to do stuff too, basically.
And she didn't know the whole time?
Yeah. Like, he described how her car looked and everything like that. He didn't really call the police, stuff like that. And he was like, well, because they both were working in the drama crew and they were both behind the scenes. And he's like, you're not the only one that doesn't want to be behind the scenes anymore and whatever. And so eventually they get out, and this is all in a hotel kind of thing, and they're on the top, and then downstairs is a club, so they have to go through the club, and everybody's like, hey, we've been watching you, you know?
Wow.
And they're like, that's cool. They're like, your fear seemed real, and everybody's like thinking it's fake, you know?
Yeah, because you totally wouldn't believe that all this was going
Which
down.
is funny, because she has blood all over her because the glass cut her to shreds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she tells them, guys, don't play this game. Like, this is terrible, don't watch it, don't do anything like that. But they're all like, whatever, you're a good actor, and stuff like that. So eventually they get to leave the club or whatever, and then she drives her friend home, and she gets home, and she says bye to Dave Franco or whatever. She gets grounded. She calls the cops about the players,
And do the cops
orchestrators or whatever. They believe her, but there's nothing they can do. So she
starts. Yeah, I guess especially because if no one knows who they are, how are you gonna find them?
Yeah, and so because she has this wide audience now, the Watchers get obsessed with you, kind of thing. So she kind of uses them to be like, we need to figure out who did all this and stuff like that, and then. Yeah, so she uses them to get more information, but they haven't really figured out anything. And then her and Dave Franco are still dating, so it wasn't a dare or anything.
Oh.
And they're close. She forgave her friend that lied because she did a lot of bad things with the dares too, and she was like...
She's like, I get it.
Yeah, if I get forgiven, you can get forgiven too. Because he did bad things, but he didn't really do anything that bad. And he thought it was all fake too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, until he was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so... Yeah, it ends pretty good, and then... they're hiking together or whatever, and
her in the front or her and Dave Franco?
Dave Franco, and a Watcher comes up, and she says how they let the people take pictures with them because the more famous you are and the more you let people let you see take pictures with them and stuff like that, the less they're going to be interested. And so they do stuff like that, and then at the very end, which is kind of shocking to me, she's at home and she gets a package, and it's these shoes that she wanted in the original dare. Oh. And because obviously she didn't get anything. Oh, and the other people in the room, they said that the whole thing was fake. That none of the stuff they tried to make them do was real. That the guns were blanks and stuff like that. And
do you believe that or no?
No, they just want to win their prizes and stuff. They don't want to be on the bad side. And then, so she reads the note from her package, and it says, we'll always love watching you, or something like that. And then because what they originally do is they make you sign up for this app, and then they basically have control of your phone. They get to pick who you call. Blah, blah, blah. So that's why she couldn't call 911 or anything like that. And then, they change your text tone, too. They were doing that for each of her dares. And she gets, children laughing or something like that text tone. And then that's just how it ends. So you know that they're still controlling your phone basically off that. Mm-hmm. And obviously they're still watching her and stuff like that because they sent, and she's freaked out obviously. But so it ends basically she doesn't really win, but she kind of does, you know.
Yeah, because they're still watching her in the end.
Yeah, I mean it was really good though.
Is there a sequel to the book? You know?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so it just kind of ends like that.
Yeah, I think she writes other books kind of like this. But
do you think if the movie ends like that, they'll make a Nerve 2?
Probably not. Maybe.
Let me ask you: do you think the movie's gonna end the same way, or do you think the movie's gonna end with someone dying?
See, I don't know. Probably won't end with someone dying. But if you tell too, when she has the gun, she's not in a closed room like that.
Yeah.
She's in like almost like an arena type of thing. So it's gonna have to be a different kind of getaway altogether.
I mean, so far, the people I've seen that have seen it, which is like Casey Neistat, his wife, people, and like people that are popular on YouTube that got to go to the premiere.
Yeah.
They've all really liked it.
Mhm.
Which some of them are probably paid to say that, like David Dobrik and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
But it mostly seems like a lot of people like it. So we'd see it regardless. I want to see it because we like Dave Franco and we like. Oh my God, I forgot her name.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts, just dribbling. And I want to see Casey Neistat in like on a movie because that'd be really cool. But it also, like, I think even if they weren't in it, seeing this trailer, like it looks so unique and cool.
Yeah,
I'd want to see it anyways.
I
but yeah,
think
so I'm
it's
excited.
gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna have a different twist too, because I don't like the whole stealing their identity thing, or like she goes up to that cop and he's a watcher. Like that didn't really happen in the book, so it's still gonna be like captivating. I feel like.
Yeah, it'll be cool too, especially when we do, because that's next week, right?
Yes, it is next week.
So that'll be our next podcast. It'll be cool because you'll get to you just talked about it on here, but we could talk about like the differences in the book and in the movie.
Yeah, our feelings about the movie.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. But I think that is the end of our first I'm a Goldfish podcast.
Woo woo!
We finally did it. We've been waiting. We wanted to do this last Friday. We were gonna, because if we went and saw Ghostbusters Friday, we were gonna come home, record this podcast. But we ordered this audio recorder. It's called a Zoom. And every time I talk about it, I think of Zoom from Flash. It makes me want to watch Flash.
You're such a dork.
But it came really late from Amazon. It just came in the middle of the day. That's why we're recording this today. So we had to record it late. Like, we could have used some of our old equipment, but like pretty much everything we have, we can only record with one mic. And we want to record if you're doing a podcast, we want 2 mics with it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why this is coming out a little late, but it's our first episode, so that's all right. But so yeah, this will probably be the most randomly timed podcast because it's just gonna be like it'll be sometimes like 1 week and then another week we'll have one, but most of the time every other week we'll have a podcast. And then also if there's not a movie we've seen in the theaters that like we do for that little middle part, like where we did Ghostbusters, we might do like where we just pick out a movie we watch randomly during the week and we just talk about that movie. Because like Taylor's like I said, that Star Wars thing, that'd be cool for you to do that, but also like Planet of the Apes is playing as what's it called? Whatever they call it in the theaters when they play an old movie. Yeah. A Fathom event. They're doing that, so it'd be cool because Taylor's never seen the original Planet of the Apes, and I love the Planet of the Apes movies. Just watched all of them recently, bought every single one. So it'd be cool for her to see that, then we talk about it, or just random stuff like that come out, or like we like. I wanted to mention really quick, since this is like we only talk about books. I've recently started watching Orphan Black on Amazon, and oh my God, that show is so fucking awesome. I only started watching it because I was listening to Only Stupid Answers. It's Sam Basher and DJ, don't know how to say his last name. DJ, they're from SourceFed. It's their podcast. And Sam said like the first 10 minutes of Orphan Black will hook you into the show, which I made you watch. It's really good, and like as the show goes on, it just gets more and more crazy. And like the episodes always end in a cliffhanger. You're like, okay, well, I gotta watch the next one. It also helped too that I was really sick when I was watching it, so I just did nothing but lay down and watch it. But so far I'm in like the middle of season 3 in it, and I think that the season 1's the best, but I think that's just because everything was so new to everybody. Cause like now they're used to everything. Yeah. But I still really like it, but it breaks my heart a little bit that season 4 isn't on Prime, so I'm either gonna have unless it's on Netflix or something. I'm gonna have to buy season 4 of it, which will be it annoys me because just now that I'm buying season 4, I have to buy the rest of the seasons because I can't just own season 4. Yeah. Season 4, that'd be stupid.
I get you.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit that I just watched. Is there any shows that you started watching again or anything like that recently?
I'm finishing up Parks and Rec. I'm so behind, like years-wise on that.
You're like at the end of the series though.
Yeah, there's like.
Is that a good show? I've never seen it. I've seen a few episodes with you, but I've never like turned it on.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's like a sitcom kind of thing, but it's really funny too, and it has a lot of famous people in it.
You like those Office type shows a lot, though.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Office.
See, you like sitcoms, like how I like time travel-y weird shows.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if the show has like a bit of sci-fi in it, and maybe some with a British accent, I'll watch the entire series.
Yeah, I can tell. See, my thing is that there's a lot of these kind of shows too that are like a total miss with me.
Really?
Also, though, yeah, like all of the show with like the first season, I probably would have never watched it.
Oh, really?
But they kind of changed.
Isn't that so weird with
drastically.
sitcoms like that? Their first season usually sucks, but then the rest of the show is really good. But then
Yeah.
usually once you've watched the rest of the show and you go back and watch season 1, you like it.
Yeah, I mean the only reason I like it is because the people.
That's how. I mean,
too.
Silicon Valley is not really a sitcom, but that's how Silicon Valley was for me. I thought season 1 was
Yeah.
okay, but then now after watching all these other episodes of it, you go back and watch like season
Mhm.
1, you're like, oh my, like you find all the jokes funny because you know their humor now.
Yeah, and they're kind of like their inside jokes already being
Yeah.
established, and
Yeah, and like because like you hear stuff that they reference later and stuff like that, so it's real funny.
yeah.
But yeah, so this is the end of the very first I'm a Goldfish podcast. If you want to watch anything else from me and Taylor, you can either go over to youtube.com/4formafia, or you can look up Plika on YouTube, or just go to therealplika.com and there's everything from me and Taylor there.
Mhm.
But yeah, we also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, we have the I'm a Goldfish on Twitter, or you can follow me I'm at NotDrumKing, and I believe Taylor is at Tacken492, right?
I think.
I believe so. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thanks for listening to this podcast. I'm pretty sure you can listen to it on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and it's gonna be coming to iTunes. I'm gonna once I upload this podcast tonight, I'm gonna submit it to iTunes. So definitely by the time we have a second episode, it'll be all on iTunes. But at the moment, your best bet is to go to like Spreaker or SoundCloud or something and just look it up. Just look up I'm a Goldfish. I'm sure we're the only thing that comes up for that. But yeah,
Probably.
thanks for watching. We will see you next time.